It's another lovely day right here on Atlantic TV and it's Viewpoint, and another interesting time for us to really look at major issues confronting us as a people. You do know on Viewpoint, it's always interesting that we make your day really enjoyable, and starting your day in the right note will definitely make you feel welcome and a need to enjoy the rest of your day. On that note, I need to really welcome you to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. My name is Michael Gobadia. But you do know, on Viewpoint, we tend to deal with major issues. Always the papers come first. Next, we go straight to dialogue. As much as we wait for the news, and trending will definitely make a point as we truly wrap up on the show. But you do know, I'm never alone. Also, I always have her here joining me to make your day truly enjoyable, and I'm talking of no other person
but Mercy Arable. Thank you so much, Michael.
Mercy, you're looking very good this morning.
Thank you. I'm always looking good.
Welcome to it.
Yes, good morning and welcome to Viewpoint. Of course, you know how we do it every day. We start with the dailies and the news and the dialogue and trending. Of course, you know how we do it on Trendy, right? And today I have a whole lot to talk about. Well, let's not go into trending yet. Let's go for the dailies. And when we return from this break, we'll go into the dailies. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Well, it's now time to go straight to the dailies, and for review today we have 5 papers as usual. We have The Guardian, who will definitely be guiding us through, The Punch, The Vanguard, The Nation, and These Days will definitely wrap things up. But you do always understand we love starting with The Punch and see if we have a puncher right there on the front page of it, and indeed we do. Well, anyways, federal government may seek Ekpan's repatriation after failing the 6-year jail term. You know, he was convicted on terrorism charge just on Monday, and indeed the federal government is already seeking for his repatriation. But let's see if we take some riders to that. Government will take further action against judgment review, according to the Attorney General of the Federation, ruling warning to extremists. And you can see the information minister saying that out loud. But I'll just implore you to go to page 2 of the Punch, and indeed you get all that concerns terrorism trial. But anyway, that's there. Let's see if we take some other leading stories still on the front page of the Punch newspaper. And let's quickly go to the bottom-most part. Let's start with the bottom then. Strike threat, resident doctors give federal government a 10-day ultimatum. And you can get that story on page 42 of the Punch. Very disturbing one on page 5. A 60-year-old arrested for raping Lagos lady. And somebody will wonder, 60-year-old committing crime, how many years is remaining for him to serve his term? But anyway, just read that story up on page 5. Oyetola blames wooden boat as accident claims 92 lives. And well, it's a quite a disturbing and sad one, seeing the loss of life of Nigerians. But I'll just implore you to get more of that story on page 21. But let's see if we take some other major stories, especially at the top mass of the Punch this morning. Dangote fuel export surge amid foreign refineries shut down. And don't shut that down, but go get more of the details on page 28 of the Punch. 2027, PDP obedient tackle Wiki over Jonathan on Obi is a screamer on page 2. Nigerian embassies hit by unpaid rent, salary arrears. Well, you can get more of that story on page 3. And one you can also get on page 20 is $600 million monthly diaspora remittance, proof of reforms. And the federal government seems to be patting itself on the back and telling us it looks as if the reforms are working. But anyway, I'm doing my work here, and let's see if we go straight to the picture of the day. And the picture of the day is that of the president himself. The vice president is there, and some members of the Federal Executive Council meeting as they celebrate with the Vice President of Colombia And we're talking about Vice President Francisca as she celebrates her birthday yesterday, more like a reception for her at the State House in Aso Villa. Well, you just talk about beautiful intercontinental relationship and Nigeria foreign image as it concerns that very celebration. Well, that's the much we can take from the Punch.
All right, let's go to The Nation. The Nation has at the top story, Obi's return to run in 2027 with kill PDP, says Wiki. The writer to the story says a comeback by him can't happen. Be wary of hypocrites, Minister cautions Jonathan. Well, that story is on page 3 of The Nation newspaper. Okay, let's see, just slightly above the major story, legal giants experts, how lawyers can stand tall. Well, you can see that on the legal section at on page 15 to 19 of The Nation. Still at the top, NSA, Kaduna government knock El Rufai overpayments to bandits claim. The writer says don't drag national security institutions into a patient conflict. Well, that story is on page 2 of the paper. Yes, at the top mass, federal government hails a 6-year jail for terrorist Ekpa in Finland. Of course, we'll be doing this on Trending today, so you don't want to miss it. Ex-IG Arshe flown back from Morocco in coma. That story is on page 2 of The Nation newspaper. Tinubu reaffirms oath to serve fairly, still on page 2 of The Nation. FIRS seeks global action against cross-border tax crime. That story is on page 8 of The Nation newspaper. Let's see if we have more. Yes, at the side mass, Nigeria, Colombia targets aviation trade deals. Well, you can read that full story on page 2 of The Nation newspaper. Let's see if we have more at the bottom. As a president celebrates loyal deputy, dependable partner Shetima at 59. Wow, that's on page 3 of The Nation newspaper. And the picture of the day, just like seen on a Punch newspaper this morning, it's about the vice president of Colombia paying a courtesy visit to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at his presidential villa in Abuja yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking on The Nation this morning. Let's see what The Guardian has for us today. Yes, the major story here says local carriers struggle as foreign airlines rake in $1.7 billion from Nigerian markets. That's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Okay, just still at the side, mass Finnish court jails Ekpa 6 years for terrorism fraud. That story is on page 28 of the Guardian newspaper. How integrity character stopped Wiki from eyeing 2027 presidential bid. The story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Yes, at the bottom, mass APC state government El Rufai trade words over insecurity in Kaduna. That story is on page 29 of the paper. Bago dissolves a Niger cabinet as Alia reconstitutes in Benue. That is on page 29 of the paper. Nigeria to reallocate dormant oil blocks, signs new production sharing contracts. It's on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's go to the top mass. Federal government sets up committee to address foreign missions debts. That story is on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. A CSO laments state defiance of Supreme Court's ruling on local government allocations. You can read that on page 3 of the paper. Federal government urges traditional medicine practitioners to standardize products. That story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. All right, the picture of the day, well, we have a graph here, is about the 2025 weekly foreign airlines flight frequencies report. Well, that's all we're taking on the Guardian this morning. So let's go to this day. Yes, the major story here says courts Jonathan can run for presidential election. The rider says in response to Keyamo, Jonathan's office releases a 2022 court judgment affirming ex-president's rights to run again, but says he is still consulting. The full story is on page 9 of the paper. Let's see if we have more here. Yes, Nigeria hails Finland's conviction of Simon Ekpa on terrorism-related crimes. The rider says it's a major victory in fight against terror. Chief of Defense Staff Fagbemi applauds ruling. Learn from Finland. NBA RULAAC tells judges and prosecutors. Lawyers tax government on security, welfare of citizens. Well, to read that full story, you have to go to page 9 of this day newspaper. Let's see if we have more. Wiki, I will bet on Tinubu winning 2027 election. Well, that's on page 49 of this day newspaper. Yes, just at the top. Mas Tinubu, no Nigerian is second-class citizen. Retreats every region being carried along in his government. The rider says he's on oath to serve all Nigerians, not a particular section. Well, you can read that full story on page 9 of this day newspaper. LCCI presidentials, Brazil, Japan diplomatic missions are trade prospects worth exploring. That's on page 8 of this day newspaper. And for the picture of the day, it shows the signing of a production sharing contract, that is the PSC, between the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC, and the Total Energy at the Septro Consortium in Abuja yesterday. Well, that's all we'll be taking on this day today. Up next is the Vanguard.
Well, on the Vanguard, the leading story reads, Jonathan to Keyamo, Odikalu, keep off my political journey. It says, keep off my political journey. I don't need your counsel. Jonathan 100% qualified for race, says Azibola, ex-president cousin. He's being deceived. Feeding Obi will spell doom for PDP. Sorry, I didn't say so, but Yusuf Wike seems to be having that view. Adds, I won't run for president. Note RFI calculation about Tinubu wrong. Nigerians, not APC or PDP, will decide 2027, says Atiku. Well, that's a major story right there on the front page of the Vanguard. At the sidemasts of the Vanguard this morning, Nigerians in South Africa mobilized for Super Eagles against Bafana. And you do know that game must be a win for us to have any slim chances of qualifying for the World Cup. But anyway, we'll definitely qualify on it. But let's see if we take some other leading stories just at the top mass of the Vanguard. And there, a major one there. NUPRC, NNPC, Total Energies, Sepetro will seal PSC deal on 2 offshore oil blocks. And the major one you can get on page 20. Empowerment of bandit. Federal government tackles RFI's claim baseless. And you can get more of that story on page 14. Terrorism. Federal government's chief of defense staff orders Hell's Ekpa conviction in Finland. And right after that, will take further action against him, says the Attorney General of the Federation. Our court should expedite hearing of terrorism cases, according to the Nigerian Bar Association. But anyway, get more of that story on page 11. Let's see if we quickly get some other major stories, especially at the bottom mass part of the paper. A power-hungry politician seeking to remove Tinubu presidency seems to be telling 9. Childhood cancer. Wow, 400,000 children diagnosed annually. And this is a disturbing story coming from the World Health Organization on page 9. Botched agreement. Resident doctors stressing nationwide strike. Just like the lecturers, it looks as if we're going through another cycle of strikes on page 19, or 13 rather. Rivers local government poll, Obi Labour Party condemn election. Go to court. IEC tells aggrieved parties. And you can get more of that story on page 12. But let's see if we still have some other leading stories right there. You can get more of the Niger Delta reports on page 18 and all of that. But the picture of the day is that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a warm handshake with the Vice President of Colombia yesterday when they gave her more of a special reception at the presidential villa in Abuja. Well, anyway, that's the much you can take from the Vanguard and also from the dailies this morning. And well, indeed, we seem to have varieties of interesting topics or headlines right there on the dailies, and especially as it concerns what seems to be happening when it comes that of terrorism. And do remember, we'll be looking at that definitely on trending, and what we'll be looking at that and seeing if it's in the right direction. But also, we also saw in the papers a lot of issues as it concerns the economy. We're talking about the ritual of petrol and recent signings, especially as it concerns energy deal in the country. That will be more profitable to all of us at the end of it. But anyway, that's the much you can take from the papers. And indeed, on this segment, we'll just play with you to hold on. Let's quickly go on a break. And when we come back, you do know that the dialogue will be next right here on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor Adi.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, Ninja Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere or I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Ruth Gender Foundation.
I'm Ruth Edema Collins. I hold a first degree in physics electronics, a postgraduate qualification in business administration, and a nationally certified French language tutor. Career-wise, I'm an educational facilitator. I'm the managing director at Atlantic Media and TV, and I'm also a director at Rukotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited. I'm a wife and a mother, and I like dressing up to show up. Yeah, so that's basically me. Thank you. Root Gender Foundation was inspired from my personal experiences growing up as a young girl in a typical Nigerian environment. For me, it was being different. It made people bully me, abuse me, and harass me. I was always misunderstood and underrated. Root Gender is a foundation that is dedicated to building confidence in the Nigerian girl child through educational and inspirational programs, like supporting programs that promote girl child education. We also organize physical exercises for our young girls for the overall well-being of their mental and physical states, and also for the acquisition of self-defense skills. We also sensitize girls on laws that protect them. In our constitution, a lot of girls do not know that they have rights, that there are laws that protect their interests in Nigeria. Hence, they are vulnerable, they are living in fear, which is stopping them from reaching their full potentials. So we sensitize them on the laws that protect their interests. This, like I said, is visioned towards building confidence in the Nigerian girl child. So that is just a wrap up of what we do at Root Gender Foundation. I would say I resonate with the struggles and the challenges of the girl child, particularly the Warri girl child. I happen to grow up in the heart of Warri. I'm from an average background. My family is an average one, but I experienced a lot. Like I said, I was bullied, I was overlooked, I was harassed for being a different child, for daring to be different, and nobody was taking note and tapping into my potentials. So my interest for the girl child is I would love to be a voice for the girl child. They need people to believe in them. They need people to speak for them. I also want the Warri girl child to know that there is hope beyond the reef. I want them to see the bigger picture. I want them to know that they can compete on global platforms. They can compete on international platforms, and they can do very well. We have the likes of Ada Gold, or Maumi, and the rest of them. They are all competing very well on international platforms, and I know that you too can do that, and I want you to know that is why we are here. Root Gender Foundation is here to make you understand that you can actually be what you want to be. As part of our objectives at Root Gender Foundation, we are dedicated to promoting girl child education. Like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. I represent the brand the African Girl Child, because I have gone through the struggles from there to here. So giving 2 million to the best female participants is just a way to share them on. It's just a way to make them know that we believe in you. I believe in you. You can look up to us. We are sharing you on. It is not about the money. We believe in your potential. We want our girls to know that you are doing the right thing at the right time. You are in the right place, and this is what you should be doing. That's why we are supporting you, and we will always be here to support you. Girl child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect our girl child. You know, my NGO, we've been pursuing a bill that we will see to be passed. We are asking that our girls should be allowed to carry pepper spray as weapons of self-defense. Because if you look at it, our women have nothing to protect themselves. They are just there by the grace of God. So we are pursuing laws that will protect the girl child. So empowerment, girl child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect the girl child, educating the girl child on time and money management, financial literacy, and equipping them with self-defense skills. Also, access to quality education. This to me is girl child empowerment and nothing more. A girl child must possess effective communication skills. They should be able to communicate effectively. A girl child should be financially literate. She should know how to manage her finances, and she should also know how to manage her time. Yes. Also, most importantly, another skill is self-awareness. It's important for our girls to know who they are, to believe in themselves. That's the vision of our NGO, building confident girls that can achieve their full potentials in Nigeria. That is our NGO's vision. So yeah, those are some of the skills I believe that the girl child should possess. She needs role models. She needs people that have led that path and have made it. Our young girls need role models. That's why we have to do better. We have to do the work. We have to bridge the gap. We have to share them on like we are doing. You can achieve your dreams. First, you have to make education your best friend. Every effort you put into learning will always be there for you, to never fail you. Boys will break your heart, people will break your heart, but every effort you put towards learning anything, everything will always come through for you. So for you to achieve your dreams, look towards the right people, look towards the right direction. There are people that have achieved in that route. I will encourage you to look up to them, learn from them. That is just the way to achieve your dreams. My message to the Warri Child, like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. We are letting the world know that we are not vile, we are not roused, we are educated, we compete intellectually, we have good things ahead of us. We can do it on the global platform, we can do it on the national platform, and we are everything there is to be a woman. I would encourage you, Warri Girl Child, make education your best friend. Make education your best friend. Learn new things. Learn new languages. Okay? And the sky will be your starting point. We are always here to share you up. Don't forget that my name is Ruth Edema Collins from Root Gender Foundation, and from all of us wishing you the best, we say keep watching Atlantic TV.
Ruth Gender Foundation. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different. When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different.
Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, on Sunday assured that justice would be served in the killing of a pregnant woman by stray bullet fired by security operative attached to Operation Delta Sweep outfit in Abraka. The governor also condoled with the bereaved family and urged security operative to demonstrate maximum restraint by operation and the set standard to avoid unnecessary harm to members of the public. The tragic incident occurred when the security operative reportedly in pursuit of a suspect, internet fraudster popularly called Yahoo Boys, allegedly shot and killed a woman who was believed to be pregnant at the time of the incident. The governor, in a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Sir Festus Ahon, on Sunday, described the killing as very unfortunate, stressing that the tragedy indeed have put the narrative in a byline and told them to avoid use of excessive force as it concerns dealing with the issues. The governor also commiserated with the family of the deceased and the indeed university community. He charged security agents operating in the state to exercise restraint and professionalism in the discharge of their duties to avoid needless loss of innocent lives. The very incident added to a long list of similar occurrences when citizens' lives have been cut down needlessly and has once again drawn the debate on the need for security operatives to be professional in the discharge of their duties, which is to protect citizens' lives and property and not the other way around. And hence, a need for us to talk about it critically on this edition of Dialogue. And that is need for professionalism conduct by security personnel. That is what we're looking at today. We're looking at the need for security operatives to be professional in the conduct of their duties. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today on the show. And to truly help us talk about this is no other person, but indeed someone that indeed looks at the issue holistically and especially as a point of also human rights. And we're talking about no other person but the senior special assistant to the governor himself on human rights issue, and we're talking about Comrade Kevin Jomodo. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Ray. Thank you for having me. Good morning to our viewers.
Well, indeed, it's a sad one. And well, many Deltans are indeed feeling a bit unhappy with the turn of events, especially as it concerns the unfortunate killing of the pregnant lady in Abraka. And well, we've had different reports, especially as it concerns that. And well, we had they were in hot pursuit, as I said in my introduction, of internet fraudsters. We popularly call them Yahoo Boys. Why the narrative given by the security agencies themselves seems to be different. They are claiming that they were in hot pursuit of some perceived criminals, hence the action. But I know you've already been briefed on account of your office. And I know His Excellency has also told you to wade into the issue. So let's get a proper narrative of what really transpired on that very unfortunate day.
Yes, thank you very much. First, I would like to extend my deepest condolences to the families of the lady who lost her life in that unhealthy circumstances. You know, it's painful that an expectant mother, just living her life, would just have to go that way because of the carelessness of our security operatives and a trigger-happy police officer.
Yes.
So my condolences to the family. May God console them at this moment of grief. Having said that, I was, immediately the issue came up, I was on ground in Abraka to assess the level of, because the youths came out and they started blocking the roads. They want to protest. And you know, when that is done, it will give more criminals access to prohibit arms within the university environment.
A total breakdown of law and order.
Yes, since the governor has, been able to put the kidnappings and criminality in Abraka to a standstill. Coming out to the protests at this time, criminals will infiltrate the protests and other issues will arise from it. Now, the issue is, I've personally complained about this outfit called Operation Delta Sweep on several occasions.
Okay.
I've had a one-on-one interaction with them because the one in Abraka have been controlled by the 181 Afiba Battalion.
Okay.
That's the one controlling the ones in Abraka axis.
Okay.
They share them into different formations. They have different coordinators and commanders in charge. So that one is under the 181 Battalion, Afiba's Battalion. And you see, oftentimes you see them just going after flashy cars. Okay. The main essence of bringing them is to combat criminality within the state, because they have a stronger formation and experience.
Okay.
It's an outfit that has the police, the civil defense, the navy, the air force, and the army.
So a combination of almost all security agencies put in one.
So all of them will bring their expertise while on the field to combat criminality. And I feel it was a good thing the governor did at that time to bring them in. But since they came in, we've not seen them even break into any major operation to combat criminality. All you see them do sometimes, just if they see Benz on the road, they pull all the Benz over and start searching for what I don't know. The next thing they chase after flashy vehicles. Forgetting the fact that not all criminals move in flashy vehicles. Some people move as slow as tricycle to beat security apparatus. Now, in the issue of Abraka, they said they stopped someone and the person beat a checkpoint and they gave a chase. Now you are giving a chase. You are riding an Elox, which is a very strong car that could give anybody a chase to any point the person is going to. You people are in two. You have two Eloxes mounted at the same time. Why don't two of you go after the chase and ensure this person is apprehended to search whatever makes the person to want to run? Then why are you doing that? Instead of you to expel maybe a rubber bullet to just scare the person, maybe the person could pull over, you went to use a live ammunition on an unarmed person. In their own account, they said they was aiming at the tire. They aiming at the tire, the pierced through the back of the vehicle. The man was at the front, and he died in a boot. And also, Nigerians should stop this idea of videoing circumstances when you don't want to rescue life. Rescue life first before you carry your cameras and start videoing. The man was in a pool of blood. Even the soldier was the one trying to raise the woman into the vehicle. People around there were just doing, hey, this one see the bridge. So at that point, the woman was still breathing. But before they put her in the vehicle and zoom off, she gave up.
Was the said lady in the vehicle that was being chased, or she was in a totally different place? Let's try to understand the narrative.
She was in the vehicle.
Okay. She
was sitting at this side, the passenger side of the vehicle.
Okay.
So if you watch, you see the bullet pierce through the side and went straight to her boot.
Okay. So
while they were there, they should have been able to first of all save life. Let's leave our cameras first and assist to take person to the next hospital first to save life. We must. This culture of always want to video and talk on the video when somebody is bleeding and the person is going.
Okay, now, as much as you've given us a clear narrative of what really transpired, I'm also a bit bothered and a bit confused looking at the rules of engagement. Because, you talked they would have fired a rubber bullet, but irrespective of before they fire, because if we look at our constitution, especially as it concerns the rules of engagement. If you look at section 217, subsection 1C, and section 8, subsection 1 and 3 of the Nigerian Constitution and the Armed Forces Engagement Act 2004, it specifies when you use your firearm. And in all of the narrative you've given to us, that's not a part of the rules of engagement.
Very well.
So I really want, because Nigerians are really, really tired of these unnecessary killings. The rules of engagement is well spelled out on all armed forces and paramilitary. So let's understand, is it that there was no coordination as it concerns the rules of engagement? Because with what you said, there was no aggression of any civilian personnel around there that made them to have fired that very unnecessary shot. So let's understand, Is it that they do not stick with the rules of engagement, and was the rules of engagement not really followed through, especially as it concerns that very incident?
You see, oftentimes they are carried away with the fact that we are security operatives.
Okay.
That mindset of coercion comes in first before thinking straight. In an ideal and a sane situation, you think through first.
Okay.
Because, like you rightly said, the Constitution tells you when and how to use a firearm.
Yeah,
he said when your life is being threatened.
Yes.
When your life is being threatened as a security operatives, when your ammunition, maybe someone to disarm your ammunition and take it, that's when you are asked to use the firearm.
Yeah.
Not when you just sit on your own and you're giving a chase in a public environment. And the agreement said even if it takes a civilian, if it takes one civilian to die in the chase of a criminal, save the civilian, allow the criminal to even escape. That's based on engagement. If, for example, you want to carry out a mission in this environment, for example, and you have civilian casualties, you abort it. Because for lack of every civilian, it's more paramount than the life of that criminal at large. So when you see that, okay, it's not doable, you avert and replot. A wise outreach, what we do is that get the particulars of that vehicle while on chase, with the plate number, write to FRSC, they get the database of the person, then you go after the person. There was a time I was coming back from Abraka, a young man hit a tricycle rider, they fell down, one of them died on the spot, and the boy was running away. I was coming from the Abraka, the boy was running down to Warriors. I gave him a chase, but he was a very fast rider. While he was running, his bumper, the back one pulled off, and he left it. The plate number was at the back. I snapped it, I took it, I went to Rupa police station, I deposited it there. Yeah. They wrote to FRSC, they brought his data, they brought his address. Then we went for him. He was apprehended. From there, we got his phone number, we started tracking. And we arrested where he went to hit the vehicle since that day. We saw the vehicle there, the bumper is not there. Yeah. So in all of this, there are better ways, better approach of engagement to handle such issues. Because number one, if the person has fired at you guys, you know that, okay, yeah, you are going after a chase of a full criminal. Yeah. He has threatened your life first, and you go after the person. But this one is just because you have an interest that the boys in that car, they must be alleged internet fraudsters. You know, if you apprehend them, you coerce them to give you money, then there's a chase. And because they don't pay for these crimes.
Okay, because that's where my next question was definitely going to be. Let's try to understand, because it seems to be a recurrent decimal, seeing such unnecessary aggression, especially from paramilitary and military forces. Now, if we take our minds back to July of 2023, we still know the story of little Alvin that was killed by NDLEA officials in Asaba, and what transpired. But we never learned that any of these personnel were brought to book. According to our records, or according to our knowledge, we'll never learn any of them, of the NDLEA officials who fired that unfortunate shot that pierced little Alvin's heart, was brought to book. So my next question is it that there are no I want to be a bit civil, because this is really quite annoying. Yeah, I want to be a bit civil. Is it that there's no repercussion meted down to these security personnel? That's why we're having more of these issues come up, or is it a lack of even orientation, just like you said, on the issue of the rule of engagement? Let's understand why we keep having occurrences of this.
You know, there is a repercussions for it. You remember the one that shot the lawyer in Lagos?
Okay.
He was sent to jail.
Yes.
You know, and a host of others.
Yeah,
but where we get some issues is some family members, they will tell you they want compensation. And when they are giving money, they want to settle out of court. And they go and withdraw their cases, sworn affidavits of oath, withdraw the case from court and said, we don't want the case. At that point, you can't cry more than a bereaved. Okay. If the man that has a case said, I don't want the case anymore, you can't push further with the case, because who's going to give a witness account in court? Who's going to bring the facts of the matter to the notice of the court? So after that being said, then secondly, because after the NSAS, there was the judicial panel of inquiry that was set out by the then President Buhari administration, headed by His Excellency Yemi Osinbajo, the Vice President. Now, the report came and was submitted. To date, government have not been able to put those officers who were guilty in that panel report to book. And when the new intake sees that the older ones that have committed such heinous crimes are working freely, they go with all level of impunity to misbehave, to manhandle citizens, and use the firearm at any time they feel safe.
At will.
You have canister for tear gas to use. You have warning shot to give. You can even give a man a good chase. You are experienced. You can call your other outfit and say, please, there's a car running towards the direction. Help us block. And they will block for you. Right in front of the Abraka police station, that's where this issue happened.
That's quite disturbing.
It is. And they brought people in to ensure that, okay, you guide the Abraka area because the kidnapping then was becoming too much.
Yes.
The governor had to wait in, and CP of Delta State, CP Abaniwala Olufemi had to send technical teams there. Until date, we never heard that one person was kidnapped anymore in Abraka, which is kudos. But you don't go about while trying to make peace, and you take human life. It's unacceptable. It's not the best practice globally. You don't use coercion. They use minimum force. Don't use maximum force and a high level of coercion when you use minimum force. Because the vehicle is running away, you just snap the plate number. You can even keep it in your radar. Now, any outfit that sees this particular number,
the car is already being flagged down.
Please apprehend. And ask them why are we running from us? But because they are not out there to follow the job, but they just want to get money extorted. Extortion is the main order of the day.
Well, talking about extortion and all of that, it's really a sad incident that played out in Abraka just during the weekend, and it's made more like a bone of our discussion today on the show. But anyways, as much as we're looking at that, we're also looking holistically at the excesses being conducted by our security personnel. Yeah, just like the video showing on our platform there, you can see police brutality and how it has almost been the order of the day. And it's quite disturbing that we have Nigerians that normally would have been protected, being accosted, being dragged, being attacked, being manhandled, being oppressed, and all by security personnel that normally would have been there to protect them. So the question still remains, what should be the rule of engagement? How should, or what orientation should our security personnel seem to have in dealing with civilian lives and in every way in ensuring that they do their job? So that's what the bone of our discussion is all centered on today on the show. And like I said, we still have no other person but the senior special assistant to His Excellency, Governor Sheriff Oborewori, on human rights issues, and we're talking about Comrade and Kevin Ojomodo. Now, let's come back. I know you saw that video clip that we just aired now, and it brings us to another major one. Why a show of aggression always by our security personnel? Because we've seen in more developed climes, security agencies are very, very friendly, very, very formal, very, very approachable, yes, especially when they talk to civilians. The way they approach civilians, you have no other alternative but to be, yes. And there's a way, there's this beautiful interaction that runs in between them. And sometimes you get carried away that they're even our security personnel. So why the show of aggression always by our own forces? Is it that the economy is also affecting their sense of reasoning? Is it that Nigerians are naturally aggressive, hence they want to be even far more aggressive to deal with the issue? Is it the orientation of we being many decades under the military rule, and that has not left most of their mentality? Let's understand why this still persists, especially in the mind of our security forces.
First is frustration. Now, you see, when you go into a job, not for the passion of the job, you go there to misbehave. You hardly see people that go into these security operatives for the love of the job. They see it as the last resort. Like in the local parliament, they say, "Na condition that make Agboman join police." In the local parliament, they say, "Na condition make Ishaman join police." Because why? He see that as a last option. So going there, for example, the power to serve is not there.
Yeah, well, it's even good we let them know it's not only Isha and Agboma that joined police on frustration. Every Nigeria does. But continue on that ground.
No, just it's more in the local parliament.
Well, I just want to lighten the discussion.
Yes.
It's becoming too serious.
Now, when you see all of that, just for example, my job as an activist, I have the passion to serve humanity. So you don't even need to push me for me to push myself. Whenever they write infractions, it bothers me because I've been a victim. I was wrongly arrested while I was in school by a police officer. I was sent to Sablet prison for 3 months and a day.
Wow.
He said my brother should bring 1 million naira or else he will send me to jail. I said, we don't have 1 million naira. And early morning, he took me to court. Because of the criminal matter, I was remanded to Sablet prison. I did 3 months and a day before I came out. So all of that has built that. I know that people suffered these things for what they don't know.
Unjustly.
They were looking for a boy they called Kelvin there in Kokori. My name was Kelvin. He just came to arrest me. You didn't put into check the surname, the height, the complexion. You didn't check all of it. I just said, since I'm Kelvin and who you are looking for is Kelvin, is dark, I'm dark, you are the Kelvin. I'm not the Kelvin, sir. So in all of this, it shows they do not love the job, but they go to the job for survival. And the government also must prioritize the welfare of these men and women, you know, serving the nation in that capacity.
Okay.
You pay a sergeant, for example, for 7,000 naira per month. The man has a wife and 2 kids. How much is baby food at the moment? How much is house rent at the moment? The man is on the field working. The wife calls him. They drive our children from school for house, come from school, come out for school fees. So the man is disturbed. And the next thing, he look for every means to coerce a civilian to get money. And the boss also in the office who sent them out on patrol tells them, as you are going out, the falling of the van is on you. The wear and tear of the vehicle is on you.
So it's more like a transfer of aggression.
Transfer of aggression. So it's coming from the point of aggression from the office first. He has been given a target to meet up. Just like the banker, you give a target, say, okay, this month, we want to make 1 trillion naira. You must get customers.
Has been alleged, because they will always say nothing like that happens.
But we have family and friends that have worked in the bank, and they give them targets.
No, not the bank. I'm talking of the police being given targets.
Yes,
but go ahead.
No, they can't deny that because I'm privy to some of these facts.
Okay, well,
I've had one. You know, I'm a frontline activist, so I know most of these things. I know how it works. It was when people tell you, well, we don't say we're going to bring money. No. When this team is not performing, you tell them this is our team, they go to come, not to bring come. We are change and put somebody else to go and bring good returns. Even to get postings, you must be lucrative to get postings.
But you must always be active to be promoted.
Yeah, in some cases, but in some you buy it.
Oh, okay, well, let's leave that by, but continue. Though.
Now, in all of this scenario that played out, you see that it's coming from the point of there's no compassion, there's no empathy. For the job first. I'm coming for survival. Just like then we're young, we'll go to a site where they are working, just to make sure that we get money. We'll say, okay, give me cement. We are not bricklayers, but because we know, we say we can be helpers. Helpers is just a mix for you, and you carry to give to the next man doing his job. Not that we love the job, but because at that point in time we just need to survive.
More like survival.
Survival. As a youth, for example, I say, okay, I want to buy jeans. Okay, by the time I do today's work and tomorrow's work, I get jeans, I get t-shirt. Because we don't want to steal. Same way these people go into this job too, not for the love of it. If you see a policeman that loves the job, their orientation is so different. I've met some of them, fantastic men. They use even their money to pursue cases for people. They go out of their way, as in it borders on them when these things happen. But the majority of them are the troublemakers that goes about every day looking for people to intimidate, and some even join the police to pay a conflict. They have a past conflict with somebody, so okay, they go and join police. Not for that they want to serve the nation, but because okay, this person oppressed me some time ago. I want to join the police so I can oppress him back. So it's going to be like you want to pay somebody back. Like the case in Anambra, for example, you give security outfit guns, they are not attached to the police. This system has gun. You know, gun has a spirit that controls it. When you want, gun is like catapult. When we're small, if you only catapult, you want to shoot at somebody. Yeah. But if you only catapult, when you look, there's no bed to shoot at. You want to shoot at your friend just to test the catapult. That's how gun is. It gives you this kind of confidence to want to do something.
So that brings me to my next question. Just like you've just traced why there seems to be that growing aggression, irrespective of how far the discussion has been, especially as the center. And in all honesty, we need to say this. We've seen many of them being disciplined. Some have been dismissed. Yes. Many of them have been dismissed, some demoted. Recently, you saw the demotion of about 3 officers attached to the Delta State Police Command. Yes. And we really want to use this opportunity to applaud some of these authorities for doing the same. Because that brings me to my next question. Sometimes if you listen to those at the top notch of the Nigerian police, they act differently than those at the lower cadre. Why that difference in attitude and in mentality?
The pressure is more on the rank and files. The pressure is more on the junior officers. Those ones at top, they get a lot of support. They get a lot of incentives from people. Everybody want to be your friend. I think if you're a commissioner of police, for example, even when you don't look for me, I want to come and look for you. Okay. Commissioner of police, I heard you are the commissioner of police here. Oh, sir, please, for cola. Sir, please, for this.
Well, I'll just still remain who I am. I might not really want to be any commissioner anytime soon, though.
But the rank and file, they don't have the support.
Okay.
Like me, sometimes I see them sometimes under the sun, sometimes I roll down. Officers, well done. Oh. Thank you guys for being on our road to ensure we are safe. Oh. Keep it up. We appreciate your effort. Your effort are not big. You know, they need this sweet talk. I've seen an officer that was doing like this. I was driving. The man was lost in translation. I pop, and I came down. Bro, how far? What's going on?
Yeah.
See, my brother.
Yes.
Pressure
on the job.
Pressure on the job, pressure for family.
Yes.
And it's just there thinking of what to do next.
Okay.
The salary is not commensurate to the cost of living.
Okay, now, as much as we've really deliberated extensively on the issue of non-professionalism, especially as it concerns most of these security outfits, let's come now to the issue of how Nigerians also react. Because I've also seen a viral video of a young man that was fighting 3 police officers that were, funny enough, were well armed. So let's also look at the reaction, because if in all honesty, that very car that was being flagged had stopped, all of this would naturally not have happened.
Very well, very true.
So let's also now come to the attitude of Nigerians as it concerns their reactions or interactions with these security personnel. Does it make any sense that you are being flagged and you do not stop? Does it make any sense that you argue with these officers? Sometimes you say hurtful words to them. Let's also understand, let's come now to the side of Nigerians and how they should deal or look at or even interact with some of these security operatives.
Thank you. I was about coming to that. Thank God you had to raise that.
Yes, it's important to balance the discussion.
Most Nigerians also were toxic towards these policemen on duty.
Toxic?
Yes.
It's a strong word.
We use vulgar languages against them. I've seen a scenario that played out before me. A young boy, that boy should be not more than 25, was riding a GLA Benz. I was at the other side. Then the policeman pulled him over. He didn't want to pull over. He was trying to. The policeman now tapped the back of the vehicle, say, please, park. The next thing this boy came down, I told the policeman, oh God, they worry you. Anybody don't buy a Benz for family before? You know how much for this Benz? And the man talking to is an advanced man. That must be like my father's age.
Wow.
He's a superintendent of police.
Wow.
And you're telling the man, anybody don't buy a Benz for your family before? The man just fold down and look at him, and the man, the next thing that came out of the man said, I don't blame you. If Nigeria, they monitor people before, how many years you be waiting to drive this kind of motor? This motor now about 30 million. You be 25 years. I'm saying for when you're born, you don't get 1 million as you're born you. It's not possible. Some of us, the sight of the police irritates on some of us. The minute you just see them, oh, these people don't show the gate. You just want to insult them, and it's wrong. Because I tell people always, I say, the fundamental human right is for everybody.
Yes.
Where my rights stop, your own rights start. Yeah. The policeman on duty also have a right. It's not a non-entity. It's not, you know, he has a right. That's why when you fight an officer on duty, the law frowns at it. Yeah. When you grab a hold of their uniform, the law frowns at it. We must also, as citizens, be civil to these men on duty. They are not there working on their own. They are working for the government and for us as the people. So when you are flagged down as a reasonable human being, you pull over. You can even greet the man. Good afternoon, sir. As work, as a family. It give them that sense of entitlement. Police, they've already know that the civilians don't like them. I bet you if a policeman vehicle breaks down today and the civilian vehicle breaks down, people will come and give civilian help. Everybody don't answer the policeman. Just because of the way we fine-tune ourselves not to like them. And they are necessary evil that we cannot do without. If you are traveling now, for example, you've driven from, let's say, from here to Baesa, going on a journey, and you didn't see a police on the road, you'll be worried. Yeah. This road like this, so is this safe? Yeah. Is this safe? How come there's no police checkpoint in this road? Is this safe? You begin to be very, very cautious. You'll be looking at, you'll be watching out. But when you see police on the road, you say, I'm saying this side is safe since checkpoint day.
So they are a necessary
evil.
Well, don't call them evil. They are necessary, though.
Yeah, well, the reason we put necessary evil is because at some point there's always a lacuna between them and the people. Now that's why I keep calling for workshop and seminars. Okay. The police should come closer to the people. The police are too far from the people. Okay. People don't even see. People don't feel safe anymore to go and tell police the information they even have. They feel scared. Like if I go tell this police now, say, "So what I see," They might turn it against me and say, hey, come back, you say. Yesterday, a woman reached out to me. The daughter of 14 years was raped by a church member.
Okay.
I sent her to a particular police station. The female police there was telling her to bring 50,000 naira for her to do a rape case for her. And I had to call the DPO. The DPO was in Abuja, and I said, please, I should add the woman to the community. And I said, who is that useless police officer that is demanding money? She started denying. Now, I joke, I full on the joke. I just lost 50,000 and I joke. I don't mean I'm sorry, sir. You can't imagine. Okay, that woman now, you've registered something. The woman said that the woman will not see you, that you don't even have empathy for your fellow woman. I'm telling you that my daughter was raped by my church member. She's 14. Let's go and make arrest. You are telling me to bring 50,000 naira. So if I don't have 50,000 naira, you will not go and arrest somebody that committed the crime. So that woman will now have a different mindset about the police. But with the intervention of the DPO yesterday, she was able to ask, can I call you back? I said, thank you, sir. She has followed me now to the hospital. We've arrested the man. We've gone to do tests at General Hospital for my daughter. So Nigerians also must learn to love the police, and the police must learn to love the people and serve the people diligently well. Don't frame people up as an officer. It makes people to lose hope in you. When you are framing somebody up, the person will see like it took me a very long time after liking police. What they did to me when I was undergraduate in school, I was like, you are saying this thing. Oh, I'm not the Kelvin, but you said because we cannot bring 1 million naira. The guy's name was Inspector Akban at that time, 2008. He told my mom that I bring 1 million naira, make her.
Well, I appreciate if we do not call names though. But anyway.
No, I must call him because it happened to me now.
Okay, well,
it's my issue.
Yeah.
Even when I came out, I fight against him, but I think they already transferred him out of the state at that time. No, I have to. It's my personal issue.
Okay.
That's what happened to me as an undergraduate. I was arrested, taken to state CID. From there, I spent 3 months and a day in Sapele prison. 2008, October, I came out January. I was granted bail by the chief judge of Delta State at that time, Justice Brosimo. I said, why? What? She granted me bail immediately in the Sapele prison with 200 naira. I just paid 200 naira for one small decision that they signed, 200 naira, and I'm out of there. What they were demanding for 1 million naira.
Okay, now, Comrade Kelvin, I would really want us to understand, is there any organized fora for interface between, because you've just highlighted where Nigeria seems to be losing it, yes, and where also our police officers seems not to be measuring up. And in all of it, it looks as if there's this big disconnect, yes, between the populace and also the police. Yes. So let's try and see how much, is there any organized fora that brings both sections? Because we do know, for example, in some Western world, police officers visit schools, give them lectures, yes, interface with them, and they see police as truly their friend, yes, which the police also say in our police stations. But let's leave that friendship though. Let's still come back to this. Is there any organized forum? And should there be not a course, especially coming from the senior officers and the cadet, looking for a way that they can also bridge this large gap? I will not call it a small gap. It seems to be growing, yes, by the years and by the days, and that's where we are at the moment. Looking at what transpired in 2020 during the SARS process, which unfortunately started here in Delta State too. So let's look at it. Is there any organized fora, or should there be organized fora to interface between the police and the civilians?
Yes, we have a lot of forums. Like for example, my human rights organization, we have a forum where we have the police, okay, we have the lawyers, we have traditional rulers, okay, all of them in one forum. Okay. So oftentimes we deliberate on issues. The police bring in their input, we from the right angle bring in our issues, the NBA brings their issues together, and we've been able to manage most issues, yeah, internally. We were able to raise an early signal, okay, and this early signal we followed up, and they nip it at the bug, not to snowball into a full-blown crisis or conflict. Yeah. So that has been able to help us within the state to push issues and change the narrative. Like yesterday, now you saw the woman had to reach out to me. Yeah. They had to reach out to the DPO. We were able to put that issue untouched. But if, for example, that synergy was not there, okay, it should have gone into maybe calling out of names, and that would not be healthy for the formations. Okay. So we have a lot of forums like this. We have the National Human Rights Forum, we have police officers. Then also, we also have like the DPO, Oborikoko, CSP Temi. She's a lawyer and she's a woman. Yeah. She goes about to schools, telling the students about the harmful effect of drug abuse, rape, criminality, and all of that. She does that on several occasions. Okay. With some of my colleagues, they move from schools to schools, okay, and we do all of that sensation together. Okay. So I think the formation also, the police, they do workshop at times, bring everybody together in a discourse. Okay, tell us what you feel we as police officers are not doing rightly. And we tell them. Like, we are the watchdog between the society and the security
more like
operatives.
an interface.
An interface. So most times, what the people cannot tell them directly, they tell us. And when we go for engagement, we tell them. This at times we will report some DPOs and they are removed. When the people say this is what this DPO is doing, we'll come with the fact and say this is a recurrent issue. The information will transfer the DPO out of that place.
Okay, so let me come back to this because I still want to talk on the side of Nigerians. Yes. Is there any how will I make it look or sound really simple for
national
Nigerians?
Orientation?
No, not natural orientation. Is there any channel of complaint that civilians can really use to complain about officers, and how effective this channel? I do know some officers have been dismissed on account, but most of them are when we see viral videos being circulated, but we've not heard of major complaints being given on account of an erring officer that have been done. So is there any channel of complaint? Is there any way civilians can also reach out to authorities if they are being in every way manhandled, abused, or indeed affected by erring officers?
Yes, from the IGP, they have the police complaint unit.
Okay.
Where you go, some are on WhatsApp, some are calls, some are on text messages. Okay. So they don't flood the place, and they are very responsive.
They are very
responsive. Okay. We also have the other data set too. They have the complaint unit. You have the police PPRO, Idafe Bright, SP Idafe Bright. When issues come up to his desk, also he followed them thoroughly, and I think I must give them kudos for that. Those avenues are open, but some of our people tell you that when you tell them come with your evidence, they'll say, I won't live about God. So sometimes they make the work of the PPRO also difficult. Yeah. Because you've read the complaint, said, okay, please bring the evidences before us. Yeah. So the officers can handle it. Yeah. And next thing somebody will say, I live about God. And God will not come and fight our battles for us. We must stand the gap to fight our own battles before calling God to assist us. Even the God of Israel we pray to, they are also fighting their direct battles. So we must also be ready to pursue our cases. So we get tired easily. I won't go market. I won't go church. I don't get chance to go. No, we must follow our cases. We're so doing, we need to correct the system. Yeah. I went to General Hospital the other day. I called the nurses and doctors to order. I said, no, the governor have said, don't collect money from pregnant women and children. But they must capture under the Delta State Help Scheme and have a card for themselves and their children. Why demand if I run out from them? And they stop. So we must continue to speak out, and in collaboration, we get things done. Okay. That's it.
Okay, now, time is not a friend, and it will be unfair if we do not really understand the government's stand as it concerns this recent killing of this pregnant woman. How far has the government come on this, and what's the way forward, especially as it concerns this very incident?
Yes.
Knowing that the people of Abraka are still very angered, angry with that very incident.
The government doesn't have zero tolerance for right violations. He has told them the officers will be brought to book and the family will get justice. As simple as that. There's no missing words. It's not going to cover up anybody. You that have committed a crime, you must face it. And you use that as deterrence to others. So going forward, they'll know that, okay, when you engage any citizen, be civil. Be civil. You don't use a firearm on an unarmed person. Of what use? You don't intimidate the person to get what you want to get from the person. Yeah. You don't compel somebody to extort people. Yeah. It's wrong, and we found it at Delta State. So, His Excellency has reached out to the 181, the CO 181 Battalion, Amphibious Battalion, and the issue is currently in process. The officers will be brought to book in the shortest time, and will face consequences of their actions. Okay.
Yes. So what of the family of the deceased woman?
Yes.
Has there been any? I know His Excellency has condoled with the family, but is there any other interface between the government and the family?
Yes, they've sent the local government chairman of Ethiopia to visit the family, and he will report back to His Excellency. Then from there, we'll take it up from there.
Okay, well, anyways, that's more like a bridge of what we've really have as a major one on our discussion today. Well, in case you're joining us, you've missed a great deal. Yes, it's still Dialogue on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV, and we're talking about the issue of our professionalism, especially as it concerns our security forces, looking at that very sad incident that played out during the weekend, and that's the killing of a pregnant lady, especially in the University of Abraka, that indeed sparked a whole lot of protest. But just like and we doing our own civic responsibility in bringing this to your knowledge and pleading that those that are already aggrieved should let the government do its job, and in doing their job, let justice be served. That's what we always are for. And you also do know in our own social responsibility, we tend to bring out programs like this to best educate, enlighten, and indeed help to bridge that gap that seems to exist, especially as it concerns those very civilized and God-fearing Nigerians that seems to be doing their need to bring their best to the ability of the country, and also to see how we can indeed increase the professionalism as it concerns our security forces, and all of that's a need while we're really doing this lovely discussion. But all the same, our time is not a friend. We've really spent time, and we need to thank you so much. We're talking about no other person but the Senior Special Assistant to His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, as a concerned human rights issue. And we're talking about Comrade Kevin Ojomodo. Comrade Kevin, thank you so much. I know how busy you are, but indeed you need to also come. But before you go, a quick one, because we also do know that the issue of the Delta girl lady, copper, that was assaulted in Anambra. Is there any latest update as it concerns that very story?
Yes, there is. In this week we are now, we'll be going to court.
Okay.
We're waiting for the ACP CID to tell us when they'll be arranged in court. Then we'll move from here to Anambra and ensure they are charged and remanded as possible.
Well, thank God the coal has not hit the rock.
Certainly.
The case has not hit the rock.
No, not at all.
It's still not cold.
No, it cannot.
Okay. Well, anyway, we're happy on that account. And just like you know what we always enjoy doing on this very lovely TV station, we'll always bring an update on all of these issues, knowing that the life of every Deltan is special and very important to us. But on that note, thank you so much for spending your time with us.
My pleasure always.
Well, anyways, that's more like a wrap on this lovely edition of Dialogue. I'll just implore you to still stay around, because the news will come definitely on the hour and trending. Well, anyway, Messi is already cooking up something that has a lot of beautiful aroma as it concerns that. And you just stick around and be with us. But for Dialogue, God willing, we'll do another lovely edition come tomorrow. But it's still Viewpoint and right here on Atlantic TV.
My name is Desakari Comedy Catalyst, one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
CME Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, Ninja Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined, uniquely different.
Hi everybody and welcome to Wawu Africa. This is the official launching and it's your host QJ and Shay. And we are so excited to be here, guys. This is a brand new app, girl, for women, Christocentric women.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. My expectations are through the roof. We have amazing guests here today, so stay tuned.
And we're gonna be back.
Yeah, we will be back.
And access, a movement that believes in the transformative power of women's economic empowerment. Our mission is simple, yet ambitious, to provide a safe, inclusive and supportive environment, a safe, inclusive space where women can learn, earn, collaborate and thrive, where they can showcase their skills, share their stories and sell their products and services.
Every day I create, but no one sees me. Until now. Introducing Wawu Africa. Learn. Showcase. Connect. Earn. Now, the world sees my worth and pays for it. Wawu Africa, where women rise.
Okay, so the inspiration behind Wawu Africa, it stems from women being dealt the lower hand, if I may put it that way. Because in corporate worlds, we see that men always get the better pay, they always get better roles, and if there is a woman in a good position, it is assumed that she did something to get that position. So we're trying to change that narrative where we are saying, look, women are not just meant for the kitchen. Women need to earn more as well. Women need to be heard. Women need to be seen for what they can do, for their skills, not just as some sexual object or some sexual toy, because that is one of the things that has been, or the major thing that has been tied to when you say I'm a woman. That is one thing that people see first. So we're trying to change that narrative. We want women to be out there doing big things just like our male counterparts are doing, and not being dependent. We're trying to change that narrative of women are always so dependent on men. We want to be independent, not like we want to just do everything on our own, but we want to be able to stand as women in our various industries, as a lawyer, as a doctor, as an artisan, a content creator, whatever it is that you are. We want women to stand out there.
I think it's a beautiful and a fantastic phenomenal initiative that I think can metamorphose into things like skill acquisition for women, safe space for women training, etiquette for women, empowering women. We call it a man's world. I call it a gentleman's world, because the gentleman puts the woman first. Yes. And so I think this is a phenomenal idea. If everyone has a sister, mother, a daughter, one of them, sister, mother, a daughter. So it's high time we started investing in the women and make this world a better place, a safer place for them. I'm thinking of a WOW counseling, for WOW rehabilitation, for drug addiction for women. I think it's something that is really huge that will begin to make. There are too many layers on what to do to make the world safe and safer for women. And so I believe that this is the beginning of the best days of this thing we just launched today. And so hoping for more.
Why did you decide to support Wawu Africa? What does it mean to you as a woman?
It means everything. I am a woman first, and personally, I am a strong advocate for the girl child and for women affairs. So anything women, supporting them, lifting them, you'll find me there. So, but as per this, my media outfits, we are very proud to give them the visibility that they need to reach their targets and where they wish to go, and give them every other support that they need to reach the women that we hope to reach. Women need to learn. It is a basic skill that they must have. They must learn, they must earn, they must grow, and they must learn to collaborate. That's why we are here. I have met some amazing women here. She leads Africa. She's here too. So it is amazing when women support each other. We attain amazing heights. So we cannot overlook the importance of collaborating with other people, other women like us. It is very, very, very important.
Here at Wawu Africa, it's an app that supports women. So what are your views on it?
In fact, it's a great idea because it will help women to be able to showcase their businesses. They don't need to, like online businesses now, they can have a space to put in their businesses and make, sell their products easily now for export.
My expectations are really high. I've worked with the owner, the person in charge for a while, and I know he's a very brilliant mind and he has ideas, and this is one of them which has come to fruition. So my expectations are really high. It's a platform to help women be empowered, help women earn, help women scale up, and that aligns with the value of She Leads Africa. That's why we're here, partnering with them, encouraging them, and saying we're here, we're hailing you, we're behind you. We pray and hope that you scale, right, and achieve all your dreams.
Wawu Africa, where women rise.
Don't stop. So it has been an amazing experience, hasn't it? Oh my gosh, we have so many expectations from Wawu Africa, and it has been great vibing with you guys. It's your host QJ and
Shay.
Until next time, stay
See you
tuned.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different.
My name is Desaka, comedy catalyst, also one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Baby.
CME Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife, Naija Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Kelechi Tejere. Here are our top stories. Federal government insists Tinubu fair to all regions, says Northwest tops infrastructure list. Federal government targets nomads education to boost livestock agriculture sectors. 2027, pro-Tinubu group backs president, hails economic stability and security strides. Ishekiri endorses Supreme Court ruling, rejects INEC ward delineation, alleges conspiracy. Arrest of Nigerian rape convict in US sparks deportation calls. Deadline drama, Isaac on verge of record Liverpool move. Now to the news in full. The federal government has dismissed claims that President Bola Tinubu is favoring certain regions of the country in project distribution and appointments. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says the administration remains committed to fairness, justice, and equity in governance. In a report released on Sunday, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, described insinuations of regional bias as half-truths and fake information. He maintained that President Tinubu has been fair to all regions, citing key infrastructure projects such as the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway and the Badagry-Sokoto Highway as evidence of balanced development. The distribution of capital projects under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is equitable. No region is playing second fiddle or ignored. The minister noted that the Northwest has emerged the biggest beneficiary of federal infrastructure projects, with secured funding for light rail systems in Kano and Kaduna worth over 250 billion naira. He added that ongoing works on highways, bridges, rail and power projects across all 6 geopolitical zones reaffirmed the administration's commitment to national development. The federal government insists that under President Tinubu, no region has been sidelined and that every part of the country is benefiting from the administration's renewed infrastructure drive. The federal government says its new education intervention for nomadic communities will not only address the out-of-school children crisis, but also strengthen Nigeria's livestock and cropping value chains. Special Advisor to the Minister of Education on Out-of-School Children, Balarabe Shehu Kakale, disclosed this in an interview. According to Shehu Kakale, the ministry has embarked on a nationwide census to identify and document out-of-school nomads and other disadvantaged groups. The 6-phase survey, piloted in July 2025, will profile nomadic children, geolocate their communities, and determine where new learning centers or teachers are needed for targeted interventions. This intervention will not only enroll nomadic children in functional schools, but also create positive ripple effects for livestock and cropping value chains. Key partners in the project include the National Commission for Nomadic Education, UBEC, the National Identity Management Commission, and the National Bureau of Statistics. The Ministry of Education also plans to collaborate with the Almajiri Education Commission and the Mass Literacy Commission to expand reach and ensure sustainability. The government says resettling semi-nomadic populations and enrolling their children in basic schools will help bridge educational gaps while boosting Nigeria's food and livestock productivity. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, has issued a fresh 10-day strike ultimatum to the federal government, warning of an imminent nationwide shutdown of its outstanding demands if its outstanding demands are not met. In a communique signed by its leadership after an emergency NEC meeting, the association expressed disappointment over government's failure to fulfill promises despite previous ultimatums and extensions. Among their grievances are unpaid 2025 Medical Residency Training Fund, 5 months arrears from the CONMES salary review, non-payment of the 2024 accruement allowance, and delays in issuing postgraduate certificates. NAD further criticized the Kaduna and Oyo state governments for failing to resolve welfare issues affecting their members, insisting that all state governors must prioritize doctors' welfare to curb brain drain and maintain industrial harmony. The association has given governments 10 days to act or face a nationwide strike that could cripple the health sector. You're watching our daily news roundup. We'll go for a quick break. More news stories when we return.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. A political support group, BTO, for PBAT 2027 has reaffirmed its commitment to securing the re-election of President Bola Tinubu, praising his administration for stabilizing the economy and tackling security challenges. The group, convened by Ogbeni Adojutelegan Adesuyi and led by Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, says it will work to make Ondo State a stronghold for the president in the 2027 general elections. Speaking to newsmen, the convener emphasized that Tinubu's administration is laying a solid framework for long-term prosperity under the renewed hope agenda. He added that policies on security and economic reforms are already yielding results. The group insisted that President Tinubu has demonstrated the capacity, courage, and vision to reposition Nigeria, noting that his track record remains a testament to enduring statesmanship. The political atmosphere in Ekiti State is heating up again ahead of the 2026 governorship election. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, and the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, are trading accusations over alleged politically motivated violence and intimidation. The ADC chairman in Ekiti State, Ilesami Omolayo, accused the APC of desperation, warning that the ruling party was pushing the state towards chaos. He alleged that armed thugs disrupted the party meeting in Ikere, Ekiti, leaving several injured and property destroyed. But the APC's publicity secretary, Shegun Dipe, dismissed the claims as baseless, describing the ADC as attention seekers and insisting the APC remains peaceful and formidable on ground. The back and forth has raised fresh concerns about political tension in Ekiti State as stakeholders continue to warn against violence that could derail preparations for the 2026 polls. Omolayo called on security agencies, INEC, civil society, and traditional rulers to step in to prevent further violence, describing the attacks as an attempt to silence opposition voices. He stressed that the ADC represents a credible alternative built on peace, inclusiveness, and development. As the war of words intensifies, all eyes be on security agencies to ensure that Ekiti's democratic process is protected from intimidation and unrest. In response, Dipe maintained that Governor Biodun Oyebanji's administration had no need to sponsor violence, urging opposition parties to follow due process by notifying police before holding gatherings. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has issued a strong warning to the People's Democratic Party, PDP, against moves to reintegrate former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi into the party. Speaking during a media chat on Monday, Wike said the PDP was yet to learn from the mistakes that cost it the 2023 elections. He He recalled how party leaders ignored repeated advice not to field both a presidential candidate and a national chairman from the North, calling the decision unjust, politically suicidal, and a major factor in the party's defeat. Wike stated clearly, "From day one, I told my colleagues, PDP, you are shooting yourself. If you allow what is going on to continue, you'll pay," he said. The former Rivers governor stressed that any attempt to bring Obi back would deepen the crisis within the PDP ahead of the 2027 general elections. We'll go for yet another short break. When we return, more stories on the business front.
My name is Desaka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Baby.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere or I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Welcome back. Now to some business stories. The Nigerian exchange closed the week on a bearish note, with equities losing a staggering 439 billion naira in market value as investors' sentiment remained weak. Figures from the NGX show that market capitalization dropped by 0.49%, closing at 88.769 trillion naira, down from 89.208 trillion naira in the previous week. Similarly, the all share index declined by 0.50% to settle at 140,295.50 points, compared to 141,002.76 points posted the week before. The weekly market report also revealed lower trading activity compared with the previous week. Investors exchanged 3.199 billion shares worth 85.399 billion naira in 142,477 deals, compared to 4.773 billion shares valued at 107.426 billion naira in the prior week. The financial services industry maintained dominance, contributing 68.61% of total equity volume and 49.99% of value. The top three traded equities by volume were FCMB Group, Champion Breweries, and Access Holdings, accounting for over 778 million shares worth 13.15 billion naira. Meanwhile, only 32 equities gained, while 57 declined and another 57 closed flat, underscoring a difficult week for the stock market. Analysts warn that continued bearish sentiment could deepen losses if investor confidence is not restored. It was a tough first quarter for cable manufacturer Kutix PLC as the company posted a sharp decline in profit. Figures from its unaudited financials show an 81% slump in profits after tax, dropping from over 306 million naira in 2024 to just 56.9 million naira this year. Despite the drop in earnings, revenue remained flat at 3.52 billion naira, while rising costs and higher finance expenses dragged profitability. The company's total assets climbed 34% to 10.68 billion naira, but liabilities also surged 73% to 10.68 billion naira. But liabilities also surged 73% to 6.44 billion naira. Kutix operating profits dropped to 275.9 million naira, while profits before tax crashed to 86.2 million naira down from 454.7 million naira a year ago. Finance cost more than doubled to 190.8 million naira, significantly weighing on the bottom line. The company's capital expenditure, however, jumped more than 1,100% to 193.8 million naira as it invested in new plant, equipment, and technology. Paid-up share capital doubled to 3.52 billion naira, while its share price slipped 24%, closing the quarter at 390 kobo per share. Kutix says it remains focused on strategic investments to drive long-term growth, even as it battles rising costs and weaker profitability in the near term. Away from business now, the Delta State government has dismissed as false and misleading allegations by Zik Gbemre, who described himself as coordinator of the Niger Delta Peace Coalition. Gbemre had accused Governor Sheriff Oborevwori of fueling ethnic conflict in Warri and politicizing sensitive community matters. In a statement signed by the Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Charles Aniago, the government described the allegations as a campaign of calumny that does not reflect Governor Oborevwori's track record of peace and inclusivity. The statement emphasized that since assuming office, the governor had prioritized peaceful coexistence among all ethnic groups, particularly in Warri and its environs. His Excellency has consistently engaged traditional rulers and stakeholders to ensure the dark days of ethnic strife never return to Delta State. Anyago stressed that Governor Oborevwori has not endorsed or supported any act that threatens peace, but has maintained neutrality and fairness in all community matters. He disclosed that security agencies have been directed to investigate recent acts of vandalism and/or provocation in Warri, while urging community leaders, youth groups, and civil society to shun inflammatory rhetoric. The government reaffirmed that Governor Oborevwori remains committed to promoting peace, unity, and development across Delta, saying he will not be distracted by unfounded allegations. The Ishakiri Nation has endorsed the recent Supreme Court ruling on constituency redelineation, but strongly rejected the Independent National Electoral Commission's ward delineation exercise, describing it as a conspiracy against their ancestral rights in Warri. In a statement issued on Monday, the Ishakiri accused INEC, alongside neighboring Urobo and Ijaw communities, of deliberately manipulating electoral boundaries to erode their historical claim over Warri, which they say has been their homeland since the 15th century. They argue that while INEC originally recognized 10 wards, 8 for Ishakiri and 2 for Urobo, the structure was later altered to 12 wards, giving Urobo equal representation with the Ishakiri. The group insists this was declared illegal by a court, but continues to be enforced in elections since 2003. The Ishakiri also faulted INEC's recent process, alleging that they were excluded from consultations, while Ijaw officials were placed in supervisory roles, raising fears of bias. The ethnic group further dismissed claims that a 1974 Supreme Court ruling granted Urobo ownership of Warri, clarifying that the case only involved a land dispute between two Ishakiri families in Okere. While pledging commitments to peace, the Ishakiri warned against continued marginalization, framing that their stance as a struggle for truth, justice, and the preservation of their history. You're watching our daily news roundup. We'll go for yet another short break. When we return, more news stories on the international level.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Now to the United States. The arrest of a U.S.-based Nigerian, Theophilus Anwana, a convicted rapist, has intensified calls among Americans for the mass deportation of criminal migrants. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement announced his re-arrest on August 29th, stating that he will remain in custody pending deportation. On social media, several U.S. citizens hailed ICE for the arrest while demanding tougher actions. One user tweeted, "This is good, but 1 or 2 arrests aren't enough. We need at least 20 per day." Others insisting that illegal immigrants with criminal records should have no place in the country. ICE emphasized that the arrest underscored commitment to removing dangerous criminal aliens from American communities. Anwana, who was convicted of second-degree rape in Maryland and sentenced to 20 years in prison, had been under a final order of removal since September 2021, but remained in the United States. And now to sports news. It's transfer deadline day, and the biggest story is unfolding at Anfield. Sweden striker Alexander Isak is on the brink of a British record £125 million move from Newcastle to Liverpool. Isak's deal headlines a frantic final day of the Premier League transfer window. Newcastle are closing in on Brentford's Yohan Wissa, while Manchester City are set to land PSG goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma. Struggling Manchester United have also agreed a deal for Belgian goalkeeper Sven Lemens from Royal Antwerp. Back at Anfield, the signing of Isak would mark Liverpool's 8th major arrival this summer, pushing their spending to a staggering £416 million. It also follows their club record signing of Florian Wirtz just weeks ago. With the clock ticking towards the 6 p.m. deadline, fans are braced for one of the most dramatic finishes to a Premier League transfer window in recent years. The 25-year-old, who netted 27 goals last season, has made it clear he wants to leave Newcastle despite having 3 years left on his contract. He arrived at Liverpool's training ground earlier today as negotiations enter the final stretch. Relief for Bayern Munich fans as Canadian left-back Alphonso Davies is back in training 5 months after tearing his ACL on international duty. Davies, who also captains Canada, signed a contract extension until 2030 earlier this year. Meanwhile, Bayern's Jamal Musiala faces a much longer road back after a broken ankle, ruling him out until 2026. Defender Hiroki Ito is targeting a comeback before the year ends. Davies' return offers Bayern and Canada a huge boost as he looks set to reclaim his place in the squad this autumn. The 24-year-old suffered the injury in March against the United States, but has now resumed ball work in Munich. He is expected to return to full action for Bayern this October. And with that sports news, we come to the end of our daily news roundup for today, right here on Atlantic TV. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms for more updates. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nkechi Tejere. Have a good day.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
just joining, welcome to Trendy on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. I am Mercy Erabo and I have Michael Gubadia here in the studio with me. And together we'll be talking about all the trending issues and gist on the internet. And of course, give our 2 cents about these issues. So our first gist today, love just got more easier, just got more exciting in the Deeper Life Bible Church as Pastor Kumuyi just eased some of the marriage rules. The first one has said that ladies can now visit a man they are courting, though he said that an elder must tag along. And secondly, you remember that 6 months mandatory courtship rule? Well, it has been cancelled, so no more 6 months. Once you show that this is who I want to end, I want to spend the rest of my life with, then you can go ahead. No stopwatch, nothing, just go ahead. So this church announcement has really got everyone talking. Is it that the church is actually catching up with the Gen Z love, or they just feel they should ease the strict rules on the members of Deeper Life Bible Church? Mr. Michael, what do you feel?
Well, I feel it's both.
Okay.
And what I mean is both. I feel they're also catching in on the Gen Z generation, which will always like things a bit easier than how it is. And that's number one. Number two, you know, let's just be frank. Some of these laws and restriction has really affected a whole lot of young ladies, especially from that very church. And restricting some of these rules will indeed help to make more of them get married, especially among themselves. Yeah. Because in recent times, we've seen more persons that have very strong rules as it concerns dating and courtship in their church, leaving and marrying somebody else from another denomination or church. Yeah. So I feel it's just a way for them to, you know, bridge the gap, let them see how well more of their members can get married, and these rules and restrictions will not disturb them from really getting married. 6 months for many might really be too long. Just like what you said, if you're so much in love and you feel that the person is right for you, why not go ahead and hook up? Because sometimes you might even wait for 1 year, and when you finally marry the person, you might just be understanding that you just married a stranger. But when that connection seems to be there, and both of you are honest about what direction you're going, then it is in order. 3 months, 2 months, 3.
So whether they are trying to catch up with the Gen Z love, or they are just trying to ease up the strict rules for their members, either way, I think weddings in Deeper Life just got more romantic.
And I'll not be shocked, Mercy, if we're not having more invitations. And almost every Saturday we'll be going to get
Exactly. So I think I love this, but I don't know the reason behind it though, but I love it anyways. So let's see what we have for the second story. Yes, I think a Finnish judge has just basically said, freedom of speech is free, but a freedom to cause chaos, nope, not in this country. So who are we talking about here? We're talking about Simon Ekpa, the agitator, the Biafra agitator, turned social media firebrand, caught up for terrorism-related offenses, tax issues, and even playing lawyer without a license. I think that's multitasking gone wrong. The Finnish court just sentenced him to 6 years behind bars. Mr. Michael, just imagine getting sentenced abroad for issues back home. Yeah. For issues back home, it's just like failing in school A and then getting punished in school B. That's a lot, man.
Yeah, and the reports we're getting is, apart from that very sentencing of 6 years to Simon Ekpa, the Nigerian government is also trying to see if they can repatriate.
Exactly.
And extradite, or rather the Finland government will be thinking of extraditing him to Nigeria to face more criminal charge. You do know this issue has lingered for so long, especially as it concerns IPOB. And well, I feel the Finnish government, or that of Finland, is really letting most other nationals know that, well, their country is not a safe haven as it concerns incitement of violence, especially when it comes to residents or people that are definitely from a foreign country. So the Finland is just putting up a strong statement that please, henceforth, you are free to talk, but when it's more like incitement and it's causing a whole lot of ripples in your native country, you need to face justice.
So do you think that this sentence will actually serve as warning to most of these loud voices online, or is Finland just doing Nigeria a favor?
Well, it's not a matter of loud voices, and if you do understand, there's this belief that he's also the perceived leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And many persons are saying, well, it's more like a connection. You know,
but I heard the IPOB actually distanced themselves from the same girl.
Yes, so many times we've heard such distancing. But, you know, when it comes and speak in the international scene, basically on IPOB, well, you will definitely always raise a red flag. And that flag is what I feel Finland is really addressing. 6 years, as they say, but the issue is, will he be repatriated down to Nigeria to face justice? It's another question.
Yeah, that's what we will find. So this is actually still like a developing story. Yeah. And of course, once we get more updates, we'll definitely drop them as soon as they come. Yes, for our third story, a breaking travel gist. So if you've got your eyes set on America, listen up, your visa might not be as secure as you think, because the U.S. just tightened visa rules for Nigerians. So instead of the usual several entries, multiple entries of the U.S. visa, now it's just a single entry, and it's just for 3 months. Like just 3 months, and that's it. So I don't actually know if this policy is about security, or more about the U.S. just unfairly shutting out Nigerians.
Well, the honest truth is, we've been seeing a back and forth between the United States government and that of Nigeria. Remember, recently Nigerians said that they're also going to put more restrictions.
Exactly.
But what Nigerians will really wish for is, let's see how the Nigerian government and that of the United States will come to a dialogue to see how some of these issues will be resolved. You do understand that Nigerians are industrial people, professionals in almost every field. And I won't lie, they've added greatly to the economy of the United States of America. And having visa restriction on them and some of their families would really be harmful to a lot of them, especially visiting families. So it's only right that the Nigerian government and that of the United States of America will sit down and see how they can really resolve these issues. So at least we do not have a back and forth as it concerns more Nigerians, and also that citizens of the United States visiting this great show.
So are you saying Nigeria should try as much as possible to push back harder, or they should just accept this new normal?
Not Nigerians. I feel the Nigerian government should interface with the American government.
Okay.
Having such policies will be strenuous in a whole lot of Nigerians. Where you used to go freely, run your business freely, have your vacations freely, now you're being restricted or given a single visa. It all borders down on the Nigerian authorities to interface with the United States of America and see how most of these visa restrictions will not be more against us rather than favoring us.
But the truth is, customs and immigration stepped in thinking they would want to fight this case, but instead they want Nigerians, don't break the rules or don't lie on your applications. So they're actually advising Nigerians not to break any rules, because they could even revoke your visa even if you already have it. So that's on the U.S. visa issue. Let's see our third story. Yeah. Get ready, pack your cutleries and your dancing shoes, because Hilda Bassi is back. Hilda Bassi is set to break another world record with the biggest jollof pot challenge. That's a lot. She's using a 6x6 meter pot. That is, this thing is, I think, is the size of a mini stadium. But she has a video. Let's see what she actually has to say. Let's hear her out.
And for this, I'm not going to be using the dimensions of the pots. I think I wanted to also quickly correct something. A lot of people have said the pot is 6 meters wide by 6 meters height. No, it is 6 meters wide by 6 meters wide, but it is about 1.1 meters tall and 1.3 meters deep, which means the pot caves in. The center point is 1.3 meters deep, and the edge is 1.1 meters, like the height is 1.1 meters. Now my goal is to fill this pot up by at least 75 to 80%. To make this calculation easy, we're going to be using the volume of the pot. Now, the volume is basically what the pot can contain. We've put some water into the pot, and we're able to get like the precise volume. So this isn't just like regular calculations that have not been verified. So the volume of the pot now, that's 22,619 liters. That is what the volume of the pot is. Now, I want to fill up that pot with rice to about 80%. The yield I'm hoping to achieve is 80%. To get the quantity of rice or the volume.
So she said to make, to fill that pot up, she'll be needing about 250 bags of rice. Wow. 250 bags of rice.
That's the record she's trying to create.
And this, I think this will be happening on the 12th of September. So I don't even know the day, but in case you don't see me here, just know that
it's a Friday.
I am, okay, it's a Friday. Of course, thank God it's Friday, so I will be there.
She contacted me.
She contacted
Yes,
me.
that's how I knew it was on Friday.
Oh,
At
really?
least I need to go here, I need to go there, rather than sticking around and having some aroma that I will not enjoy at the end. So it's better I just go. Linda, I got your message. I'll be there live and direct, helping you to break the spices and also help you turn part of the jollof rice. So don't worry, I'm bringing 3 coolers.
So this is going to be heavyweight jollof showdown. I will be there. I will be there. It's happening live at Victoria Island in Lagos. So, of course, you'll see me there. Mark your calendars, 12th of September 2025. This is a huge one. And I don't think anybody would stand challenging Hilda Bassi on this, because I don't think anybody would want to sacrifice 250 bags of rice. That's a lot.
That's
well,
2.5 million itself.
Okay, exactly. You've calculated that. Okay, so that's on Hilda Bassi. And of course, we'll give you updates on the Jollof Pots challenge. Let's see what we have for the last story. So there's this viral video of Patience Jonathan that resurfaced online, maybe because we've been hearing rumors that Jonathan is coming back to recontest for 2027 elections. So she came out to say, no, I think I love my peace of mind. I don't want this again. I don't want to go back to this whole political drama. But here's what she has to say. Let's hear it.
Because to me, if you call me now for villa, I won't go there. I won't go there. Don't you see how young I am? Because the stress is so much. The stress of Nigeria is so much. If God managed to bring you out of it, you should glorify God. And thank God for the Lord's doing. Because He's marvelous in His eyes. He has taken you there once. Why do you want to go there again? I won't go. I need peace, so I need your love. I want to share love with you. May God bless us.
So she's like, villa drama had passed. I prefer my peace of mind. I am not going there. I love chilling. Look how young I am looking since we left this whole drama, this whole political drama. So the truth is, has she really given up on this country at this point?
Well, anyways, that's her own view. Whether it's a recent or old video, it emphasizes her stand that, well, she wants her peace of mind. But as much as that, everybody also do know that the husband is still consulting, and will come out with a statement whether he would love to contest in the 2027 general elections. But irrespective, Patience Jonathan, you know now, where the husband goes, the wife follows. So, well, that's what I just need to say.
So, but the video is really funny. It's the fact that she's like, nah, I don't want to be caught up in this whole drama again. And I was reading comments and I heard somebody saying, I think this woman really needs Nigeria to apologize to her for making, for misusing her videos back then. And she doesn't really want to face all of that. I know sometimes
and the social media is now harsher than it was then, so we might really say a whole lot of drama.
So I don't really think she's scared of the political drama. It might just be the social media. She doesn't want to just imagine you hearing, you know.
We're not going to say it here. Trending trends are not that issues. The trend of
all right. That was a good laugh. So this is where we have to draw the curtain on the trending on Viewpoint. Today, I hope you enjoyed every moment of it. And of course, you know, you have to engage with us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. See you same time tomorrow for a nice, exciting edition. Once again, I am Mercy Erabo.
Well, anyway, I'm Michael Gobadia, and indeed, it's been a lovely one. We started way back, 8:30, the papers, all dialogue, the news, and trending. Really topped things up, and indeed, you say it's an enjoyable time. We had a great time, and I know you guys also had one. But let's see how I'll do it this same time tomorrow. Just like Mercy said, we'll definitely be happy to make you feel a need to always want to be with us. Bye for now.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.